Hey everybody, Dodger here. Welcome back to Formula One 2019 as we head to week number 3 of our season number 2 in the career with Scuderia Ferrari. And that means we're headed to China, which is a really important track to me because I feel like every season it's China where I finally start to get a setup for the car dialed in that's relevant for a lot of the tracks on the calendar. China being one of the early modern tracks on the circuit, it really does have a lot of elements that carry over to other tracks that we go to. But it's also one that I really enjoy. Of the modern-ish tracks, it's one of my favorites, so I'm looking forward to it. Looking at the messages here before we head to qualifying, we can see that we have a little bit of light rain at the very end of qualifying today, so that could be interesting. And practice went fairly well. There wasn't too much drama there. I actually showed a decent amount of pace. For this week, we have put on one power upgrade and one aero upgrade on the car, and I have continued to, if I can get back to the right screen, I have continued to work on the aero stuff. So now we've gotten this second hexagon down. That unlocks 3 different trees. We can really start to push forward with aero development on the car, which it really needs because we're only 3rd there on the charts. And with that, let's head out to qualifying.
Welcome to Shanghai, China, for what I've no doubt is going to be a fantastic F1 qualifying session.
Alright, we're out on track in Q number 1. Does anybody ever say that? I don't think anybody ever says that. We're out on track in Q1, and I'm optimistic that we're actually not going to struggle with Q1 today, as the car really did show good pace in practice and practice qualifying. Setup-wise, I've gone for something a little bit of a different direction from what I was going for. I've gone for a little bit of a stiffer suspension, and I've gone for a little bit less aero. Just seems like this car is responding a bit differently. I've also gone a lot more aggressive on camber. Let me focus on this turn 1 that never ends, and if you push the nose too bad through here, it will ruin your sector 1 time and get your front tires too hot. That was pretty decent. And then this is another really important turn here as well, because if you can't get to the power cleanly there, you're in trouble. But yeah, this car really seems to want a very different setup to the Alpha we had last season. It wants a lot of camber in it. It doesn't like the real soft suspension. More than anything, it feels like a very long car. It feels like it takes a lot to get the nose rotated around, especially in the longer turns. It almost reminds me a bit of the Haas from years ago now. Alright, this has been a pretty nice and clean lap, but you can see those front temps are getting hot. So we're really working the front end of this car quite a bit, where I felt like previously we were just only working the rear tires. Important turn right here. Use as much curb as we can. And we're out there with a 32.7 to Botas at a 32.5. That, I'm pretty comfortable with that, I think. I don't imagine we would drop out from there. There's certainly at least half a second in the car. That was obviously I was doing a lot of talking, so I don't think that was a stellar lap. This has been happening quite a lot, where the times really fluctuate a bunch from practice to qualifying, so the times have improved significantly now. Vettel down there in that 31.6. I've had some low 32s, but nowhere near the 31s, so I definitely need to pick it up a bit here for Q2. Oh, interesting. We've already gotten a little bit of rain. Well, let's jump out on track very quickly. That doesn't bode well for our qualifying chances today, I don't feel. As iffy as I've been with qualifying this season so far, adding in rain is most likely not going to improve our chances here. And I'm a little worried that our setup isn't going to work very well in the rain. This is probably where you would like a little bit of a soft suspension, a low camber setup. So I kind of took a gamble that it was going to hold off until Q3 of the rain, but it certainly did not. And I went out early hoping the track was going to be less saturated than later on. Oof. The good news is... Well, the good news is... come on. Just go by. Come on, just go by. You imbeciles. The good news is we have a lot of time here in Q2, and we don't have to use any of these intermediates in the race because it doesn't look like rain. So I'm just going to give it some time. Alright, I've done some learning. Got a purple sector 1 here. But I think people are still going to do another run. Looks like they're leaving the pits now. I had a pretty good lap lined up before. I ran out of fuel, actually, just before the finish line. I've been setting purples in sector 2. Let's see if we do it again. Not quite, just green. But that might be against my purple from earlier. I'm struggling to get power down out of here. Not bad, not bad. This isn't as good a lap, unfortunately, as the one I was turning earlier when I ran out of fuel. I think it actually gets better over the course of a few laps. We'll have to see. Bring it down to first gear just to... I don't know, challenge myself. That's what I need right now. More challenge. Alright, only a half-second pickup. Brings me up to P4. Like I said, I think a lot of cars are going to get another run in. I don't know if that's going to be good enough. A little bit of a float there. You can hear the tires run happy. Pretty much a mirror for that first turn. We're not going to know what other people are doing for a bit now. Nope. And it just snapped away from me there. That's it for our run here. Okay. We'll just have to hope that's enough. It wasn't enough. Yeah, this always happens in the rain. No matter what you do, basically, the AI will always beat you, I find. I don't get it, but somehow they just always miraculously pick up like a second as soon as you're done with your qualifying lap. So that's it for qualifying for us, I guess. Lame as it is. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Perez, Stroll, Ricciardo, Gasly and Nico Hülkenberg, Raikkonen, Magnussen, Antonio Giovinazzi and Albon, Red, Grosjean, Devon Butler and Robert Kubica, Norris and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid.
And what happened to McLaren? They are at the back. Alright, well that's 3 weeks in a row of qualifying disappointment.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
This week, I'm not personally taking any blame on it. I feel like I did everything I could there. They have us starting on the soft and going to the... they have us starting on the medium and going to the hard. I'm not a big fan of that strategy. I would rather try and do something different. Maybe something with with a soft to medium, if possible. I'm gonna look at some options here. Unfortunately, there is no options for us. I looked and looked, and they have zero suggestions as to any way we can avoid running the hard tire. So I guess we're gonna run the hard tire. And starting from the back, I understand the why. I understand why they feel like the one stop is our only option. Hopefully, the other, starting on the soft, we'll have to do 2 stops, and that might give us some opportunity in the race. I'm not sure. The good news is, I think our car is really quick here, and I'm not pessimistic about our ability to work our way forward in this one. Alright, what do we have around us here? Left side of the track. Let's have a good launch. Not bad. Let's get to the outside here. I feel like the outside is where the moves are made. Yeah! Yeah! Part the C's. Alright, now it's going to funnel back in, so we got to give some of them up to avoid contact. A little bit of contact there that got my car squirrely, but it wasn't too bad. There was contact ahead of us as well. I wish I could have dove to the inside of these two. There's a yellow behind us, perhaps from the contact. I, of course, couldn't see anything that was going on there. 3 wide. Not room for me there, but maybe we can follow Kimmy through here. Not really, I got boxed in. Come on, Hulk. It's so weird seeing all these cars or all these drivers in weird cars like this. Yes, the Hulkenberg Williams, of course. In 11th place. That makes sense. Close that door. We didn't quite get to the points on lap 1, but darn close to it. Now we're getting into the top 10 area where we're on mediums as well. Oh, right. Yes, the practice or qualifying had rain in it, so everybody's gonna be on the medium tire. Everyone's gonna be on the same strategy, basically. I didn't see any other strategy that looked better than what we did. See, I feel like everybody's gonna be pitting at the same time, basically. Which is good. At least that means we are unlikely to get mired in slower traffic. Does mean that I need to be super aggressive to make up positions, because it's all gotta happen on track, basically. And I might kind of get screwed over on pit strategy as well. Let's be a little bit more aggressive with our ERS. I do feel pretty comfortable with the car. Timmy had a big gap, so this might be good for us. Should I dive for it? He's going to protect the inside. So I'm going to try and take the outside. Get the power down. Clear, clear, come on. Good enough. It was good enough.
Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled.
P10 is in the points, but I want a lot more than this. I really do feel like I have a car that, with a decent qualifying, we'd be a shoo-in for a podium. It feels really solid. I feel like I've gone a good direction with it, setup-wise. Might just have to try and pick one off every straightaway here. Lost the back end there. Just a little too greedy with it. It's a good save though. Solid drift. Look at that, we already got a run. Quite impressive. Heavy braking there with all the speed. Tell you what, this car really builds some energy. It builds a lot more energy than the Alpha ever did. Not having to spend so much time harvesting. Struggling a bit with the rear tires at the moment, which is surprising because I didn't really have that problem in practice or qualifying. Which could just be that I'm trying to push the thing out of the turns a bit too much. See how much the nose was skating there, really just bouncing. I feel like Gasly's not going to have DRS here, so I should just be able to get by him on the straightaway, as long as I stay close enough. Full power. Okay, he didn't, so it's full power. Full battery even. So we're going to be able to pass him. And then cars 2x2 in front of us, which is really good news. That will help us. Oh no, DRS here. Purple sector 3. Amazing what a good run down the straightaway will do for you. We're not in the position we need to be in, but for the first time this season, I feel like I have one of the best cars in the field. And that feels good. That's what it was supposed to feel like. So what happens here now that we're in a group of cars? Instead of being able to get them one by one. Full power. I think it's important to have a good run before we hit DRS. He's not giving that one up. We slid it out in front of him. Nice. And I don't imagine there's a move in the works here, so I'm just gonna take my time. Got close. Catch my breath a little bit. We know where the move is going to happen, so let's just wait for that. Gotta be careful leaving the door open there. Lock up from Perez there. Kind of messed us up, honestly. I think that hurt us more than it hurt him. Had to check up in the middle of the turn and miss the apex from it. Hit it. Perfect opportunity for us there. Oh, I'm so glad I took a shallow apex. That was beautiful. All right, this is our moment of proving to Ferrari they made the right choice here. I'd love to be more aggressive with the RS, but I'm so focused on hitting my marks. I don't want to miss a turn or a braking point just for messing around with it. I think this should be pretty easy. The hard part will be getting away from him. Cleared him. Brake a little bit early. Now it's Operation Botas. And find that podium that I felt like our car deserved. First time going in here without cars in front of me. I try not to overdrive it. Just using a bit of fuel and energy to scoot away. The fuel target was really good, which is surprising. That might just be because we were in traffic, though. Trying to get all this done now because I feel like once the car is on hards, I'm not going to be as sporty. I won't be able to make moves like I was. Alright, I think I pulled their DRS a little bit there.
Update for you. Everything's looking nice and tidy on our end. Let us know if you start to feel any issues.
Nice and tidy. I don't know if I ever hear him say that. Just feathering the gas out of there. Ooh, that's a bit wide. Still though, that was my best lap. Still in rich mode here for the moment. I think if we can get to within DRS striking distance, we can back off of that. And maybe we should here in this middle sector anyway. Where we're not really on it. Good handling car. This makes me feel a lot better about our chances moving forward. Hopefully I found something that works for us. And it's not just here. Like, it could just be that I found something that works here, but won't necessarily work everywhere else. Bit late there, messing with DRS, or not DRS, ERS. That's what I was worried about. One reason I'd really like to have a dial instead of having to click the buttons through. That's why they do dials. Because it's just it's a system that you don't have to think about very much. You're just putting the dial in the position that you need instead of flicking through a screen and going through options. Which is why I use my H-pattern shifter for the fuel mix. I know that forward is going to be rich, back is going to be regular. And that works really well. It's just easier for my brain to comprehend without having to put any thought into it. It's been a sporty lap. It's actually starting to handle a bit different now that fuel is burning off and the tires are getting a bit worn, but not different bad, it's just a little bit freer. Not quite to DRS range yet. Without that mistake down here last lap, who knows where we would have been. That was wide.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the hards.
Not looking forward to that. Hopefully we don't get into any trouble with pit strategy here. As far as traffic goes, there's a lot of groups of cars behind us there. We all know how that's gone for us this season. It's this area where I feel like I'm closing in on him the most, which is surprising. I felt like we weren't running very much front aero. I thought we might struggle through there. No big slide this lap. That will help us. Certainly applying some pressure now. We only got a couple laps still, pit stops. I think it's this real floaty way I'm driving the car that's giving us all this extra fuel. Unlike when I'm attacking and qualifying, where I'm really sharply on or off the throttle. In the race, I seem to be really letting it roll a lot. When you got a little squirrely there. See what I mean about that middle sector is just really working for us. I think that's DRS. Won't be close enough to pass, but it'll get us there. It's gonna be a heck of a run. But no, not close enough. He took a little bit of a defensive line, as he should. This will be our pitting lap.
Clear boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
Which is kind of a shame because we're running our best times yet. Like, we're running really good. And like I said, I don't know how it's going to be on the hard tire. It's not typically what I do best with. Picking up a good bit of push now in dirty air. Curious if he's going to be pitting here or not.
Box this lap, please.
Since we're both number 2 drivers, we both locked him up into there. And it's that little lock up and slide there. That's what I want to see them doing in the rain that they never do. Gives us the outside. I've got to get over to pit road. So I'm going to have to let him go. Oh, he's pitting as well, I think. No, he's not. That was almost a disaster. I thought for sure he went all the way to the right. I thought it was because he was pitting. No, Hamilton pits first. Okay. Whew. Hamilton's already out. Oh, we going to get a help? Go, go, go. No, perfect. Good news.
Stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Your message wasn't even complete by the time we were through the white line. I get the feeling these tires are going to take a little bit to come up to temp. So we might not be immediately faster, so there might not be an undercut there. Oh, that felt pretty darn good right there. Yeah, there I could tell the front wasn't quite working like it was. Well, we're chewing up Albon here. It might give us some DRS. That'd be good news. Purple in the middle sector, so it is quicker. Much to my surprise. Well, we passed him before we're going to get the DRS.
Sebastian is in the pits.
Oh, Sebastian. Oh, man, I've punched my microphone way far away from me. I was probably getting a little distant sounding. I doubt that was enough to draw us to him. Alright, here's Bottas just exiting now. So we've got him again. So at least we don't have to repass. He was definitely better onto pit road. Because I feel like our outlap was really good. So that's Hamilton ahead of us now. They are very close together. If they really get to racing, we could be back in this thing. I think I need to lose Bottas if that's going to happen. Easy with the curbs. I undeniably do not like the car as much on these tires. Try and pull away here on the straightaway. Those two are in a heated battle. That was our quickest lap because the Sector 3 was so good. So tempting to want to just try and really push turn 1 to make up time, but it usually just ends up biting you. That was pretty tame, and it was a purple. Rev out there to the gas. Down to 4th here, let it float. And down to 3rd. Try not to chop it too much. Just down to the gas as quick as you can out of there. Not my best middle sector, but not my worst. See how much I was pushing it out of there. Back end just squirming around. There's the yellow in front of us. I think it's Seb. I think Seb is blown up. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. He is out of the session. That is us P2. That's not very good for our team. And it's kind of a shame that we were headed for a fastest lap there, and we lose that ability. I used a lot of my energy that lap too. I had to lift for Seb, who was just riding in the middle of the track. But don't count us out yet. We got 10 laps to try and catch Hamilton. The bummer is that he doesn't have anything to worry about now. I think our chances were better with Seb battling him. Going to regen a little bit here this lap. I feel like the next lap would be our best chance of a fastest lap. These tires are still quite good. Do a little saving here. I mean, we're sitting P2. That's still a pretty amazing day. But I want more. When you know you have the best car, settling for second best just is hard to do. Overdriving it a bit. Gotta remember that we're on rich fuel here, so we're gonna have a little bit extra power out of these turns. Oh, really nice exit there. Bit of a lockup. Yeah, I do think that our best chance was that lap where Seb blew up, unfortunately. We've done good to get away from Botas, though. Nicely down to the power. Wide out of the last turn, though. Oh, it was enough.
Burned up our excess fuel.
Just barely, it was enough.
Soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
We can't back off now, though. I won't be able to push for fast laps like that now, but I just gotta try and keep chipping away at it. Now that we're not gonna have straightaway speed, I gotta try and really maximize the turns. That lap, I ran wide quite a few turns, like there was a lot more in it there. This is one of those tracks that I've had just an amazing transformation at. I used to really struggle here, but it has become one of my absolute favorites. It's a pretty sporty lap for not having the power in it. Much later on the brakes there, since we're slower on the straightaways. I lost so much time out of that turn. You can see it on the delta there. 3.9 to Hamilton. That is a big gap for not a lot of time. But I don't think our car is going to fall off at all for the end of this race. We might be able to save up some energy to try for another run. We still have some fuel. It's honestly hard to believe this is the same car I drove last week. Feels nothing like it. We're inching up on that energy. I can go down to mode 1 in some of the slower turns, but again, that's just more for my mind to do and focus on. We'll just have to see what that gap closed in like this lap. Visibly, it looks better, but it's hard to tell. Was 3.8, 3.5. Okay, that's decent. That's a decent rate of attack. Sun's coming out now. I hope that doesn't change my car any. He says immediately spinning the rear tires up. It's so good through these turns. I think the camber is what's really made it come to life. I was worried it was going to be a tire wear issue to do that, but that's been pretty good too. Car doesn't soak up the curves as well as it did on the softer setup. That's a worthwhile trade-off, I feel. Feel comfortable bumping up to mode 3 now. .3.0. That's a good enough rate. It's frustrating because it feels like it's too slow, but if we just keep that up, we'll get there with time to spare. A little bit of grip loss through that section. Where the sun's been on the track. I don't know if it makes sense to use power there. All I do is push the nose. Feels like out of here is where we need to use it. This is a pretty sizable track, but it really does feel like the lap goes by very quickly. I guess because it's just so fast. Just a little extra boost out of there. We've actually saved a bit more fuel as well. So we can really make a charge at it. I would say by lap 25, though, we're going to be there as long as we keep on this pace. Well, that's not going to help. Actually turned into a really good sector 3, though. 2.4, that was still a very good lap. I think I do need to watch for slides now with the sun out. Let's just hang in mode 3. Fastest of all, sector 1. Cut my apex there. Way too shallow. Not the most destructive of mistake. Go overboard with the energy usage. I think we should probably start using some fuel, though. I think we're gonna call this race the Pursuit. Fast lap again. 1.8. I'm surprised that it's still holding on so well.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Hit the power really well there. It's not impossible that he could be saving some energy and some fuel for when I approach, though. I know that's what I would be doing. That was a pretty big slide there. Still the green. I predicted lap 25 was going to be the lap we'd get there. And that's looking like it's going to be true. It does kind of feel like he just stepped it up, though, doesn't it? Like a wick has been turned. 1.6, yeah. Definitely stepped up the speed. He's just trying to keep us out of DRS range now. We'll have to turn it up as well. I don't know how much he has in it. Judging by his last couple laps, I'd say he's got quite a bit in it. That was nice through there, though. Much better. Did you see him slide the back a little bit there? They can't slide much with their TC, but definitely saw a little bit. We've definitely got a little bit of a draft here. Lap 25. We are here. DRS. Fastest lap with the toe on the back straightaway.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Oh, that was a big slide. I gotta remember that the car is gonna want to do that in his dirty air. Catching and passing are 2 different things. Let's try to conserve as much as we can for a lap. We are so much better through here. You get the nice exit, but our turn in and center are so much better. Back end wanted to slide on me there. Alright, this is close enough. Which way is he gonna go? Yeah, of course he'd cover the inside. I think he just let us go. So I just clipped the curve a little bit there and didn't quite get going very well. He's got DRS here. He's gonna go for it. I really wanted to over under there, but there wasn't space. I think we need to be a little bit closer on the back straightaway so we can gap them, so we can't just pass this back in DRS. Use all the fuel in it now. Box them up. I just can't get the back to grip out of there. This is still closer though. Much better gap this time around. And a much better exit.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Bit of a lock up there though. Carried a lot of speed into there. This might be the same situation. No, he doesn't get there.
Mix 2, fuel to mix 2.
I advise you shut up. He tried to boat those in there. I don't think so. Remember, we got more power, so we gotta lift a bit more for these turns. Oh, that was beautiful. Purple in the middle sector. We couldn't have done more here. Gapped him out of the turn. There's no way his DRS is going to make up that gap. All we got to do is not screw up in the hairpin in the last turn. One more turn. The pursuit for redemption. Nice. 15th to
Great
first.
drive. We did it. Good job.
That feels really good. for a race against
So,
fake
another
people.
excellent win
That still
for
feels
Ferrari.
really good.
Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races. And
Looking
I
at the
agree.
podium,
I
you can
agree. That
see
was a
red
fast
suit's
car.
Familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again.
Well, we got to the
And
top
now
step of the
let's
podium.
take a look at the driver's stats.
Not the best day for the
Wasn't
team.
best weekend for our championship
Yeah, I just said
leader,
that.
and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Some amazing talents out
Oh,
on
wow.
the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Red. They
I would
fought
think so.
hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone else did a better job today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes move to the top of the table. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. Well, Ans, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
That's really rough for Seb to not score any points here, but it's early enough that he can definitely fight his way back up. I don't see any issues with that. Let's view the highlights. That was a race of highlights there. Between that first stint, just cutting through traffic, I was immensely proud of that. But then the pursuit in the second stint was also really fantastic. I think that was probably one of my better driven races. That outside lane on the start. Ooh, 3 wide there. Did not know it was that close. I know me and whoever that was there, yeah, had a little contact. And that was basically it for the race for contact. Someone blocking him up on the inside of me there. Who? I don't know. I don't know who's in what here. And then from there, it was just clicking them off. I was waiting for the right opportunities. I knew our car had a lot of straight line speed in it. It was very, very good in that middle sector as well, which I think drew us into a lot of passes. Oof, that was a cheeky one there. There should be lots of highlights of passes here, game. Don't disappoint me. Okay, or you could highlight that one lockup. That's cool. Oh, really? They missed the pass. All right, well, the pass back they got. Oh, this was close. I thought he was pitting and he didn't. Oh, they didn't show it, of course. All right. It's the completion of pit stops. Now for the stint on hards. Shouldn't be a lot of highlights in that one. The highlight was staying ahead of Botas there. And then nothing until Vettel blows up. Gotta get our slow-mo shots though. You gotta have them. Very important. And then straight to the checkered flag. What? What about the battle? What about all the passes? What about the pass backs? Oh, okay, whatever, game. Whatever. Fine. Fine. Oh, that was immensely enjoyable.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
That I am.
It doesn't get much better than a win at this track, does it?
At this track, oh boy. Yeah, that aerodynamic team is doing the work.
What do you think made the difference between this weekend and last weekend?
Let's just keep making the air department happy.
Appreciate your time.
All right, everybody. I think that will do it for this week here in Formula 1 2019. Seriously, that was immensely enjoyable. I hope you enjoyed watching. All green check marks, redemption from the last 2 weeks. And they won't all go like this, but as long as they do on occasion, I'm elated.
Congrats on the podium. It's thoroughly deserved. We were sweating those last few laps on the pit wall, but you brought it home.